the 6th grade's A-Team Poetry Night. My name is Jeff Davis, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for this wonderful night filled with poetry. Before we start with our recitations, I would like to give a brief description of the poetry you will be listening to tonight. Our main focus tonight will be on poetry inspired by great masterpieces. These poems are fittingly called art poems. Each student selected a picture and chose one of the 4 kinds of writing styles. They could either pick story, impression, expression, or voice. After that, they let their emotions and experience flow into poetic form. I'd also like to thank a few people on behalf of the A-Team for making this poetry unit possible. First, I would like to thank Ms. Schmidt for sharing her appreciation for art to our class. Second, I would like to thank the Winchester Foundation for Educational Excellence for giving us the grant money to supply us with the many art pieces needed for this project. And of course, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our outstanding English teacher, Mrs. Lane. Now, without further ado, let's celebrate what we came here for, poetry. Our first poet will be reading her art poem. Her name is Christina Papez, and she will be reading her poem, Through the Window.
Through the window. See the choices through the glass pane, view the edible decisions, and ponder, which one? The chocolate swirl, or the one with the orange jello insides, or one of the green rainbows? Flat or raised high? Round or square? Frosted, fruity, fluffy and light inside? The pies, flat and golden brown, are overshadowed by the colorful, embellished cakes. Still, both are to die for, they're that amazingly delicious. So many choices. Perhaps a slice of Boston cream, but will it fill you up? What about a pie with a blueberry heart? All of them seem to be calling out, little children begging to be it in a game of tag. Me, pick me. But don't be content to decide with the window between you and the decisions. Step out of the frigid, wet London air for a moment and enter the lighted, warm, small, and cozy bakery. Breathe the sweet-smelling aromas, slip out of your wet rubber raincoat, and consider your original dilemma. Which one? Shall it be vanilla or chocolate, sweet or tart? Choose and eat, and let the delicacy, fit for angels, fill your stomach and your heart.
Our next poet will be Nick Lee with his art poem, The Man with the Sapphire Eyes.
As I look through a painting, I see a man with sorrow in his heart. I stare at his miserable reflection. I notice his frigid sapphire eyes that glare back at me, his saffron beard itching in his face. As I look past the wrinkles of his eyelids, I see blue rivers of tears waiting to fall down his face. When I look at his cerulean coat, the prickly collar that hardens his neck, and the sleeves that tighten his sore arms, the feeling of unhappiness in his life drifted onto a canvas for the world to see.
Great job, Nick. Our next poet will be Nick Christopher with his art poem, Drained from a Rainbow.
Drained from a rainbow. Flashing colors, draining from a rainbow. More reds, blues, and greens than one can imagine. Dripping, sliding down the page, like a waterfall from heaven, cracking as it dries.
Great job. And now to conclude our first section of art poems will be Allison Kent reciting her poem, Fractured Mosaic.
Fractured mosaic. Cracked and crazed, dabs and splotches of extraordinary color, like a dazzling stone wall, rocks carefully fitted together, creating bands and streaks of red, blue, green, yellow, purple. Whether pebbles on paper, put together like little pieces of tile, each one of different shape and size, or a small waterfall trickling down, reflecting brilliant colors of a rainbow, or fractured, a beautiful stained glass piece, once solid, colorful lines, but now bright-colored stripes, shattered. No one knows what the artist intended. Perhaps even she doesn't know.
Great job to all of our poets in that section. That will conclude the first segment of art poems. Our next set will be poems called Go Inside. In this type of poetry, we had to act as if we went inside someone or something, whether it was a pen, a cat, or even Mrs. Lane. The poet had to describe what he or she saw, felt, heard, etc. Now we will commence with our recitations. Our first Go Inside poet will be Laura Lowy with her poem, Go Inside a Poem.
Go inside a poem. Go inside a poem, see many different ideas. Perhaps you'll find a great secret waiting to be discovered. Perhaps you'll find meanings never been found before. Perhaps you'll find a question yearning to be heard. Perhaps you'll find a child like you waiting for adventure.
Our next poet will be Catherine Rowland with her poem, Go Inside President Bush's Head.
Go inside President Bush's head. See the grueling responsibilities encased with endless worry. Perhaps you will see a concealed secret, so life-changing if revealed to the world's tender ears. Perhaps you'll spy some upcoming plans, premature and unsure of their effect. Perhaps, beneath the anxiety, you'll dig up a light-hearted Texan joke, excluded from the serious attitude necessary to govern Americans. Hopefully, you will find the most wonderful view of the future, an image of peace.
Very nice. Now to finish off our Go Inside poetry, we will have a poem called Go Inside a Secret by Nora Bruder.
Go inside a secret, see embarrassing truths. Perhaps you'll find a slip and fall from a picnic long past by. Perhaps you'll find Erica's pants in front of a longtime crush. Perhaps you'll find an old nickname from preschool days before. Perhaps you'll find a funny picture from a silly truth or dare. Or perhaps you'll find some strange parent who just said the wrong thing. But perhaps you'll find that it's not just you who has these times of hope.
Excellent job. Now we will start our second section of art poems, and leading off for that will be Tucker Delaney Wynn. Please come up with his poem, Fiery Chaos.
Fiery chaos. Dusk. My herd and I approach the savannah. The blazing sun sets our backs aglow, like an orange mist settling over our fields as the sun slowly sinks. Suddenly, in the distance, I hear a yelp, then a whoop. Hyenas. Madly, they swarm towards us. We try to gallop away, but easily they chase us down. The hyenas are wild, snapping, scratching, snarling, sneering. We kick, We stomp, we fight. The sky looks as if it were in flames. The fiery chaos. The hyenas take down the young ones. We are trapped.
Great job, Tucker Delaney win. Now we will move on to our second poet in this section, Dan O'Connell, with his poem, Spots and Stripes.
Spots and stripes. Trotting down a grassy plain, a herd of zebras soon to be slain. The zebras trot, spook, and fright. They know well the hyena's delight. Hyenas, quick, agile, vicious. They claw, they rip, they tear. Zebras, slow, shy, scared. They graze, they wander, they trot. Suddenly, a neigh, a roar, a laugh. The plain is clear, the zebras fled it, except the poor little one, who is now a scrumptious feast for the wild hyena beast.
Very nice job. Our next poem will be King of the Jungle by Alexis Stern.
King of the jungle. A mighty roar, a flash of golden fur. A twig snaps, the lion appears. Deep brown eyes stare suspiciously. He steps closer. Hear his nails click softly against the ground. Small ears erect, listening for others around. Velvety nose twitches, bringing in each and every scent. Long whip-like tail lashes gently against his sides. The sun beats down furiously, creating shadows in his oceans of sand-colored fur. Muscles ripple as he shakes his unruly mane. A glorious picture of magnificence is he.
Moving on to our next poet, this will be Matt Smith with his poem, The Bold Lion.
The bold lion. The bold lion stands on the hill like a boulder, unmoving, protecting his lioness and cubs. His long hair neatly parted around his face. Eyes intent, full of purpose in them. What dignity and pride he displays. He is like none other. His posture, his stance, so proud. His outline scarcely seen by predators. He attacks savagely, defending his cubs from the dangers of the outside. The lion stands and watches, again intently gazing, bold and proud.
Thank you, Matt. Our next poet will be Eugene, or Gino, Diavolio with his poem, Father Lion.
Father Lion, king of the jungle, most feared animal in the cat family. He, the lion, hunts down whatever he sees. His eyes gleam at his prey. He is the watch cat of the family, built like a wall, in total control. He struts around with his big proud stance, clear scowl, long wavy tail, swift as a shooting star on a dark gloomy night. Paws enormous like a tree, claws like eagle's talons. Teeth so sharp, when he calls, all is quiet. King of the jungle.
Good job, Gino. Now, for the end of the second section of our poems, we will have Megan Fallon recite her poem, Why Me?
Why me? Behind my glittery eyes of fame lies my sad, dark soul, crying for love, for affection, for a friend. Who will take care of me? Why me? Please,
You do not know what I have been through. I cry through lonely nights, wishing I were a better person. Why me? I ask sadly as tears trickle down my damp face as a leaky faucet would. Why me? Loving acting, loving the attention. As I flash a pearly smile, I think, what does it all come down to in the end? I possess no family, no husband, no carefree children. I sob as life slips away from me. Why me?
Excellent job, Megan. That will end our second section of the art poems, but we have many more for you later on this evening. We will now start our potpourri segment of Poetry Night, which will be a sampling of the other types of poetry we have written during this poetry unit. And to lead off in this potpourri segment, we will have Chris Bernard recite his poem, When I'm Dancing.
When I'm dancing. When I'm dancing, my whole world disappears. My heart starts to beat faster. I start seeing clouds. As I go deeper and deeper into my performance, I feel like I'm flying, like a bird without wings, when I'm dancing. When I'm dancing, I get a taste like whipped cream in my mouth. I hear the beat of music to my ears. I smell the tough leather of my shoes. I tire from smiling to the audience when I'm dancing. When I'm dancing, I never want to stop. I want to keep going forever, as time would keep going on. I know if I keep my tapper jazz shoes on, the music will never be gone when I'm dancing.
Excellent job, Chris. Our next poet is going to be Anna Yesterby with her poem, Chocolate Kisses.
Chocolate kisses. Behind the colorful wrapped foil lies a chocolatey sweet treat, a tasty heavenly chocolate that definitely cannot be beat. A little tiny chocolate kiss brings a creamy chocolate taste, a wanting more possession that you will never waste. Although this candy might seem small, it holds a lot inside. It may look very tiny, but it hides a big surprise. So next time you have a chocolate kiss, expect a lot from it, because that itsy bitsy bite you take will be the best chocolate that you ever bit.
Our next poem is called My Turtle by Kelsey Kinsey.
My turtle. Tell me if you think you know how to make a turtle go. He is very stubborn and is slow. Every time I say go, he says no. Maybe I could convince him if only I could get his head to show.
Nicely done. Our next poem will be Will You Be My Valentine by Kim Bergen.
Will you be my Valentine? Will you be my Valentine if I will be yours? I think that you might like me, but I might like you more. Will you be my Valentine? I know I like you lots. I will give you candy that are shaped like little hearts. Will you be my Valentine? I can get you gifts. The biggest gift of all will be a big Valentine kiss.
Sorry about that interruption. That's all. Our next poet will be Kathleen Goodwin with her poem, My Bedroom.
My bedroom. My bedroom is as messy as the town dump, where garbage or socks litter the ground. My bedroom is as comfortable as a silk pillow that relaxes the pressures of the day away. My bedroom is as familiar as the faces of my family. Both make me feel at home. My bedroom is a safe haven like a good book. Both let my imagination run wild. My bedroom can be anything or everything. My bedroom is my escape from the rest of the world.
Great job, Kathleen. Gina Morocco will be our next poet, reciting her poem, Lily.
Lily, you did not think twice, and you almost paid the price when Albert almost lost his life. Lily and Margaret used to play all day until one May when World War II broke out. Then all of a sudden Albert came along while you were just sitting there playing your song. And then you and Albert became best friends, and that's exactly where the story ends.
Nice job, Gina. Our next poet will be Lauren Regan with her poem, Sunrise.
Sunrise. Gorgeous, colorful. Rising, shining, brightening. As mysterious as a cat creeping in the shadows. Fading, darkening, disappearing, dazzling, relaxing, sunset.
Now to finish off our potpourri section, we will have Bethany Durden recite her poem, Windows.
Windows. When you look at windows, I guess you just see glass. But when I look at windows, I see more than that. I see sorrowful faces like branches on palm trees. I see troubled minds like waves on the seven seas. I see starving brains wanting to learn. I see borrowed abilities like waiting for your turn. When you look at windows, I guess you just see glass. But when I look at windows, I see more than that.
Excellent job to all of our potpourri poets. We will be going, our next section is going to be our third art poem segment, and leading off with that section will be Carl Wang with his poem, Ghost Music.
Ghost music. It all started with one piece of paper. Music flying everywhere, race notes, slurs, and bar lines. Stern man, blue body with fiery hair, red, dark scarf, wrapped around a white attire. Notes floating up and down, treble clefs, flat signs, whole notes and more, sliding into unknown worlds. Listening and writing, lots of black inks, scripts of music, making beats with quarter notes and quarter rests. A fine line of white on the left, the right pitch black with a touch of white. A picture, covered with music, writes by itself like winter. Black suit covers a lot, but in the top corner one can see a little shape like a winter tree. And it all started with one piece of paper.
Great job, Carl. Matt Olson will be our next poet, and he will recite his poem, The Face.
The face. Ovals, squares, triangles, and rectangles, all coming together to become, when united, a face. One thing appearing from many. When up close, they are all different, just shapes upon more shapes. Yet, from afar, you can see the artist appearing. His nose, Up close, shapes in a triangle, but farther away, a part of his face. Two different forms made the same. One living and breathing, the other dead and bland, just a mark on a piece of paper. A face and a shape, the former made of the latter. Two different things, now in unison, made into one.
Great job, man. Great job. The Wave will be recited for our next poem by Ross Riley.
The wave. I am the wave, tossing the fishermen up and down. I am the wave, roaring in anger. I am the wave, soaring to the sky. I am the wave, offering a terrifying ride. I am the wave that belongs to the sea. I am the wave, one should never trust me. There is no other wave as strong as I, and there is no human that can conquer me.
Excellent job. Our next poet will be John Erickson with his art poem, Who Am I?
Who am I? What am I? Am I a wrinkled blanket? Am I black with white stripes that are curving side to side? Or am I white with black stripes which are flowing up and down? Who am I? What am I? Am I a discolored ocean waving? Or the leftovers of shaving? Or chocolate mint I'm craving? Or a melting chessboard which is caving? Who am I? What am I? Am I a paint spill? Or am I just a figment of the artist's imagination? Who am I? What is my purpose? To make you dizzy, or to show you how wonderful abstract art can be?
Excellent. Our final poet for this segment of art poems will be Jin Jen Chen with her poem, Passing Down Teachings.
Passing down teachings. A barefoot man, leading his son and father, is striding towards a yellow bush wrapped in a lilac cloth. He wears a royal blue shirt and dark baggy pants. Up ahead is an unknown yellow and orange glow which reflects onto the road. A running figure enveloped with a white sheet is surrounded by brown swallows. Above, the nighttime sky is royal blue, the grass dark green, and the road red like spewing lava. The grinning skeleton represents the dead father. He is dressed in a long red robe and has a yellow crown. The man is barefoot to show respect for his father, for he is walking on the path that his father took before him. The child represents his son and also life. The boy wears blue overalls and a white shirt.
Excellent job to all of our poets. Our next portion of poetry will be our I Am poems. These poems all have a specific form to them and describe one of the poet's hobbies or attributes. Now I'm sure you are all anxious to hear some more wonderful poetry, so without further ado, I give you Christine Gagalis with her I Am poem.
I am. I am an American citizen who deeply appreciates her country. I wonder if everyone could ever feel as passionately as I do about America. I hear American voices heartily singing songs like America the Beautiful. I see the American flag beautifully boasting its colors, red, white, and blue. I want more people to see how great a nation the USA really is. I am an American citizen who deeply appreciates her country. I pretend that I am the first woman president of the USA. I feel my heart swelling every time I hear I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I cry as I touch the soft, silky feathers of an American bald eagle. I worry about terrorist attacks in my country. I cry when those attacks happen. I'm an American citizen who deeply appreciates her country. I understand that not everyone loves America. I say let all American principles stand. I dream of a healthier and safer America. I try hard to teach others about the greatness of the USA. I hope that America will be strong enough to stick together through thick and thin. I am an American citizen who deeply appreciates her country.
Great job, Kristen. Our next I Am Poet will be Megan Malia with her I Am Poet. Oh.
I am an athletic girl who loves baseball. I wonder if the Red Sox will ever get a new stadium. I hear the fans screaming as Pedro strikes out the batter. I see Manny hitting the ball over the green monster. I want to meet the Red Sox players. I am an athletic girl who loves baseball. I pretend to play baseball. I feel a tingle of excitement at a Major League Baseball game. I touch the player's hand as I shake it. I worry when my favorite baseball players get hurt. I cry, thinking maybe Pedro, Manny, and Nomar won't get better. I am an athletic girl who loves baseball. I understand that it is hard to win a World Series. I say the Red Sox will win the World Series one day. I dream of becoming the first girl to own the Red Sox. I try to become a really good baseball player. I hope I will be there when the Red Sox win the World Series. I am an athletic girl who loves baseball.
Very nice job. Now, to conclude our I Am poems, we will have Charlie Huntington.
When I'm reading, a wonderful event is proceeding. I'm absorbed by the story, the tales of adventure, courage, and glory. The author's words sound amazing. I find it hard to stop gazing at the brilliant words the author has wrote, the expression that the author can tote. I'm engaged in the story, enjoying every word, whirling through twisted thoughts, no matter how absurd. The book's ability to keep me engaged is so strong it forces me to flip the page. I read even as it becomes harder and harder. There's a hunger inside me which reading can harbor. Reading is a basic function to me, like sleeping, eating, or watching TV. The characters' hopes, worries, sorrows, and glee join me as I live. They become a part of me. This time is worthy. Do not be misled, for knowledge is past me from what I've read.
Excellent job to all of our I Am poets. Now I know you love these art poems, so I'm going to give you another section of these art poems, okay? And leading off for this section will be Emma Favorito with her poem, A Cold Faded Broom.
A cold faded room. A cold faded room, still in the darkness. The house remains quiet, the beaten door no longer creaks. Filthy floorboards, all covered with dust, since after the last owners slipped away from life's grasp. The house can only sit and wait while watching the lifeless days drag on, until some lonely family, with nowhere to call home, steps up to the faint blue door and cautiously enters for warmth. The rags, the buckets, and the pans on the wall scattered around the abandoned room, all left behind with the rust and the scratches. The shadows grow along the walls, then seep into the narrow cracks for shelter, hiding from a ray of sunlight streaming in from the window. When someone comes to claim this old house again, the shadows, the rags, the buckets, the rust, and the dirty floor will be waiting to welcome the family to their new home.
Excellent job, Emma. Now we will have Emily Fleming perform her poem, Stormy Night.
at this picture. Look hard. Do you see the beauty? Do you see the many colors? Do you see the rainbow lights? Yellow and green, orange and red, purple and blue. Do you see the detail? Each curve so swift, each corner so sharp. The sky is so bright on this stormy night. The streets are wet, damp, and slippery. I feel alone, trapped in this wonderful picture. So now tell me, you can see everything I see.
Great job, Emily. Our next poet will be Megan Sullivan with her art poem, Beautiful Ballerina.
Beautiful ballerina, how I admire you. The long hours dutifully spent, perfecting every step. Ever so composed when your toes tremor in pain, muscles taut like a stretched rubber band. Your delicate appearance masks the iron will within, gracefully flowing with the music, as though you are one. Ever so fragile in a false eye's view, coming alive in the stage light with a warm inner glow. Home is the stage, family is the show. These all are the feelings that I want to know.
And also, Meg Sullivan and Kyla Tucci are also working very hard trying to get these pictures up, so why don't we give them a hand for that? To finish off this segment of our poems, we will have Alex Burka recite his poem, Picked Up by Leo.
Picked up by Leo. Hi, I am a penguin, made of many things. Leo so made me out of things that he brings. Anything and everything he brings home. I personally think he has collecting syndrome. I could say lots more, but I'll turn over the floor to a few of my tenants whose history you'll explore. They were picked up by Leo, and now they are here. Hello, I'm Mickey Mouse. I'm always in my car. I used to be on display at Catch a Falling Star. And then I was bought by some little child, and down his race ramp my ride was wild. Then that youngster had to move. I was put into a crate, but then I fell out onto an interstate. I was picked up by Leo, and now I am here. Hi, who are you? I'm a youth circuit board. I was in the store till kabloom, darn warlord. An electronics whiz picked me up off the street. He put me in a watch that clicked to a beat. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tick, tick-tocks. My life was monotonous as a rocks. I was picked up by Leo, and now I am here. Hello, hello, be happy. Do not think that you are cursed. If you will please just do that, I'll bring you to Amherst. That was my home where they shaped me from plastic. It's just by chance I'm a pin and not elastic. People kept sticking me onto their shirts until I slipped off and was left in a hearse. I was picked up by Leo, and now I am here. Yes, sir, I'll jump right off the porch, sir, no matter what penalties that might incur. I'm a little plastic guy with a big parachute. It slows me down so I don't rip my jumpsuit. I am part woven fibers and the rest off of plastic, all joined together so kids get ecstatic. I was picked up by Leo, and now I am here. All of us worthless things, and more galore, we build up the sculpture from surface to core. We're proud of our fate, stationary and sedate. Penguin, that's what it says in our museum nameplate. We are all very different, from pins to a button, but this here is what we do all have in common. We were picked up by Leo, and now we are here.
Great job, Alex, along with all the other art poets that recited during that.
The next type of poetry that is about to be read is all related to a project that we carry out every month called an ORP. ORP stands for Outside Reading Project. The ORP that these poems are connected to is the project we completed in March. Our goal was to study a poet and then undertake different tasks, such as responding to one of the poet's poems, or writing an essay about the poet's childhood. But the task that made us use our poetic skills was the one that had us write a poem about our ORP experience. Now, I will get this section of Poetry Night started with my piece, Working with Shakespeare. Working with Shakespeare. Working with Shakespeare was an interesting quest, not knowing that he was a lot different from the rest. At first, I believed it would be an easy task, but soon found out that my theory wouldn't last. The cover page wasn't hard, neither was his poem. However, the responses caved in on me like a collapsing dome. Interpreting his poems were projects of their own, although it was easy to discover the rhythm and the tone. Mrs. Pickering helped me out a lot with this project. She gave me a book about how Shakespeare gains his logic. This book also helped me interpret his poetry, explaining how he wrote about love, but also hostility. From this ORP, I know there's a lesson to learn. You never know when something might take a twisted turn, because I know that I should have looked into Shakespeare more before I chose him as my poet, and realized I'd only read 2 of his poems before. Thank you. All right. Our next poet will be Joe Gary with his poem, My ORP Experience.
My ORP experience. Poetry ORP, oh poetry ORP, you're always on my mind. I tried to play baseball, but thoughts of Pulaski made me blind. Poetry ORP, oh poetry ORP, you're all I can ever think. I tried to play hockey, but I couldn't find the rink. Poetry ORP, oh poetry ORP, I'm gonna write another poem. I wanted to play basketball, but I'll be working here all alone. Poetry ORP, oh poetry ORP, my work with you is done. But I'm ready to study another poet because it was actually a lot of fun.
Great job, Joe. Our next poet will be Alyssa Conley with her poem, Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Hear how her pencil scratches the paper. It's as if it's running a race. Every thought that comes to mind goes on her paper. She does not worry about rhythm or rhyme. How nicely the words do flow in every poem she writes, like the breeze flows the water on those nice summer nights.
Excellent job, Alyssa. Brian White will be our next poet with his poem, Wordless.
Wordless. It's not easy to do an ORP, especially when it's poetically. I try to find the words I need, for without them I cannot proceed. I want to be funny like Dr. Nash, but when I try it ends up in the trash. If only the words would just come to me, or I could pick them right off a tree. And I would put them down onto the page, then everyone would think... then everyone would think that I'm the rage.
Always the ORP is the title of our next poem,
and this will be recited by Alyssa Lombard.
Always New York. The days and weekends blend together. Homework, dance, chores, and New York. Always New York. I've gone to the library, taken out books. I've sat at the computer, downloading poems. I take a break, have a little snack, but I must get back because it's always New York. Sleep is short, no time for dreams. Gotta get going, always New York. My mind is racing, what have I left to do? The essay or table of contents, always New York. It's over on Thursday, now I can take a breath. Leave this one behind, prepare for the next, always New York.
Nicely done, Alyssa. And now to finish off our Orp Poetry segment, we will have Ian Holdstock recite his poem, Poe's Woe.
Poe's Woe. As I researched the poet Poe, I found his life was full of woe. The quality of his life really stank because he gambled and often drank. He got kicked out of most of his schools because he broke a lot of the rules. So I learned that if in school I don't do well, I can wind up like Poe, not doing so swell.
Okay, now on to our next category. It is titled Just for Fun, and I think the title explains itself. Our first poet will be Anna Myler with her poem, Writer's Block.
Writer's block. I'm having a writer's block. My brain won't answer my knock-knock. It won't open up and let me in to anything at all. I'm having a writer's block. I think my brain is out for a walk. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me stroll along. I'm having a writer's block. My brain must be in a shock. I don't know why. There's nothing I can do.
In summer when the leaves are green, I see them swaying in the breeze. In summer when I go to the beach, I hear the seagulls flying. In summer when I tip my boat, I feel the rope slip from my hand. In summer when I go to the pool, I see the white Adirondack chairs. In summer when it's 4 o'clock, I hear the jingle of the ice cream truck. In summer when it's time to go back to school, I feel stressed and I fret. In summer when it's a lazy day, I sit around and reflect on summer's beauty.
Nice job, Carly. Our next poet will be Elizabeth, or Biz, Jamin, with her poem, 10 Little Bats.
Little bats. There were 10 little bats flying in the sky. One hit a pine, and now there's 9. 9 little bats stayed up late. One overslept, and now there's 8. 8 little bats flying through the sky. One went to heaven, and now there's 7. 7 little bats playing with sticks. One got hurt, and now there's 6. 6 little bats flying extremely high. One got sick, and now there's 5. 5 little bats cooking in the kitchen. One got scorched, and now there's 4. 4 little bats sitting in a tree. One fell out, and now there's 3. 3 little bats sitting on a stool. One fell out, and now there's 2. 2 little bats flying near the sun. One got blinded, and now there's 1. 1 little bat ate a bad run, and now there's none.
Great job, Elizabeth. If I Could Put a Curse on You will be our next poem, and Stephanie Brown will recite it.
if I could put a curse on you. If I could put a curse on you, I would get a laugh or two. May you choke on a chicken bone. May you forget to pay your loan. May you wake up late and miss the bus. May you get detention for making a fuss. May you forget your homework on the table. May on your test you forget to label. May you forget your money for lunch. May your glasses break from a punch. May you fall off your bike and scrape your knee. May you get stung by 1,000 killer bees. May you trip and hit your head. May you find out that your fish is dead. Oh, if I could put a curse on you, I would get a laugh or two. But only someone with a bad hat would do something as bad as that.
Great job, Stephanie. Our next poet will be Haroe Almadan Deval with his poem, Worst Class.
The worst class. Was there something I did, or was it something I'd done to deserve the horrible students who fall asleep in the middle of 7 times 1? Was it just my luck? Was it just supposed to be that I got this crazy class who bring to school a circus of fleas? Was I supposed to be miserable, hiding under my chair? Oh look, there goes a paper airplane on fire, and a cigar soaked in gasoline. They really would there. Was this my real destiny? Is this my real way? To teach a bunch of underestimated criminals who hung up on the flag mast my very own toupee? Do these brain disordered students really think I care? Well, I do. Or I did, until they cemented me to my chair. Is it just that I'm too weak? Or that my last name is Hesk, but they renamed me Smellville, and when I objected, I found cherry bombs in my desk? Was it the stick bombs in their hats or the flea circus I despise that caused the other 47 teachers to resign? Or maybe it was the 85-kilogram sugar cubes they put in your tea, gunpowder in disguise. I wish they would all just vanish, even Liam, the cherry bomb, who always disappears, to where I found out to be the boiler room, where he keeps his pet moose and his handmade go-kart that has about 50 gears. I can come out from under my desk now because they drove off with a wrecking ball. I think the next stop is the science lab. I'm finally safe from them all.
Ben Odo will be our next poet with his poem, Tornado.
I moved to Kansas a year ago, and all the farmers would say, a tornado is going to strike and ruin your day. They were lying for sure. I was positive it wasn't true, but I was curious and scared. You would be too. Many days turned to weeks, as weeks turned to months, and months turned to a year. Still, no tornado was bound to come. However, on one particular day, as a thundering, dark funnel cloud formed, there seemed like there would be one. The air was filled with a dark and scary sky, while I started to hear the rumble of the tornado's vicious cry. After one crazy year of living in Kansas, I could say, a tornado struck and ruined my day.
Nice job, Ben. Now to finish off our Just for Fun category, we will have Connor McNamara recite his poem, This is Smiling.
This is Smiley. This is Smiley. He says hi. This is what happens when a car comes by. This is Smiley. He says hello. And this is what happens when a plane flies low. This is Smiley's brother when he was a small child. Have you ever seen what happens when a train goes wild? These are Smiley's kids, Jack, Joe, and Greg. And this is Joe with his new peg leg. Here's a picture of Greg at his 11th birthday. An ambulance had to take Jack away. Look at Greg with his brand new ball. But like Humpty Dumpty, he took a great fall. Only the mother is left, probably not for long. With that I conclude my morbid song.
Great job, Connor. And now we will go into our last call for art poem category. This will be the last art poems and the last poems for the night. I'm sure you're all very sad about that. And to lead this off, we will have Philip Fonseca recite Breezes, Fabrics, and Grassy Hills.
Breezes, fabric, and grassy hills. The soft white fabric whipped by the wind. Taut lines snapping, surrounded with graceful dips of the grassy hills. Brilliance of the sun playing upon it all. The caressing breeze flowing through pastures. Cattle grazing quietly in green fields. The presence of innocence lingering. A great wall in itself, yet, unlike China's, its use, its purpose, unknown. It is just there, standing there, forever. Or is it? Not forever, no. It is weak, powerless, without a defense. It is only temporary, but forever it will last in our minds, a masterpiece.
Great job, Philip. Madeline Eiler will be our next poet with her art poem, Memories Before the End.
Memories before the end. I remember that one summer, my cat sat upon the chair. She lay there basking in the sun, like she was the only one there. She turned and tossed, trying to sleep, searching for a comfortable way. Then she set her head upon her paws to make the world go away. We had this cat for oh so long, even before I was born. But when I found that she was sick, it felt like my heart was torn. Sitting there at her grave, thinking of all those years, then those drops streaming down my face, feeling those salty wet tears. I remember those times that we shared together, loving her every day. When she would come and sleep next to me, when she was sick, at home I would stay. Again I feel tears streaming down my face. I wonder if she died for my heart to destroy. Then I think of her in the sun, and my dreams fill with joy. I still miss my cat, Razzle's her name, wondering if she misses me too. But whenever I think of her floating in heaven, I think of those shiny gates she's going through.
Now, for our last poem of the evening, we will have Brian Campbell come up and recite The Snowy Playgrounds. Or in other words, the snow playground.
The snow playground. Splish, splosh, sploosh. The young boys waddle through the snow-covered forest. They enter a little white meadow, surrounded by evergreens and bare trees. No color, no leaves, just trees. The noisy children dance and play. They bang sticks and toss snowballs. They unite in their imaginative way to create the snow playground. The wind blows and howls like a wolf across the meadow. The boys jump up and down when they feel the wind on their cold faces, their ears as red as Macintosh apples, their faces white as snow, and their feet cold as ice. They head inside to warm up and of course have some hot cocoa. Creamy, smooth, warm cocoa, soothing their souls. The moon has come, the sky is dark, no more time to play.